First of all, I'd like to say that the news from the Article 29 Working Party is very positive from our perspective at Privacy International. It was clarified by Commissioner Viviane Reding last November when the telecoms reform package was passed that prior informed consent was the point of the changes to the regulations. So quite why people are saying that it's not in there when this has already been clarified several months ago strikes me as alarming. But it's very good to hear that the Article 29 Working Party have seen the same thing and have produced an opinion based on that. Privacy International are deeply concerned at the moment with the way behavioural advertising is developing. Not least the fact that the name used for it changes almost on a monthly basis. It was initially behavioural advertising, then it was interest-based advertising, and God knows how many different names it's going to take in the future to try and cleanse its reputation. We're concerned particularly with regards to mobile advertising. I've done a review of mobile telecoms terms and conditions with clients over the past 18 months, and the vast majority on a global scale give the mobile company or the mobile operator the right to do whatever they want with the information they gather from people using handsets and using their service. This includes location data, this includes communications data, emails, SMS. In fact, the only thing it doesn't seem to include is putting adverts in the middle of your voice calls. So we're very concerned about that. We feel that this is a market which potentially or has the potential of abusing privacy on a larger scale than even the internet. I just want to address a couple of the points that were raised by the other delegates here. We heard that less than 1% of adverts are clicked on. We need to understand that less than 1% of hundreds of billions is still quite a high figure. And less than 1% of hundreds of millions of people is also still quite a high figure. So whereas the click-through rate on ads may be less than 1%, the number of ads produced on an annual basis around the world on the internet is literally in the hundreds of billions and probably in the trillions. And the number of people using the internet on a global scale is again in the hundreds of millions. So that less than 1% really doesn't bear any weight when put into relation with those figures. We also heard that advertising funds the internet. Not entirely true. Certainly advertising plays a great deal of responsibility in funding the commercial internet. It doesn't fund the academic internet, it doesn't fund public sector internet, it doesn't fund the social internet such as blogs and community forums. But yes, there is a great deal of funding for the commercial sector. To hold the world to ransom for their private data simply because you're funding a commercial enterprise or a commercial market is not acceptable. Also, we heard that the data which is collected, we heard about sensitive data, and informed consent should be required for sensitive data. But I think, and as Sophie's already said, it's important to realise that aggregate data, the more aggregate data you have, the more or the higher the resolution of the picture you have of the person that data relates to. So the more data you have, the easier it is to make inferences on these areas that are sensitive, even if you don't have that sensitive data directly. So for example, if I visit a number of sites which cover topics on socialism, it's fairly easy to infer that I'm a socialist or have an interest in socialism. The same can go for sexual preference, medical treatment, so on and so forth. Different areas that we look at may not have a direct link to a particular sensitive issue, but when combined, all these different pieces of aggregate data can paint a very clear picture with a very high resolution of who and what I am.